Hi class, in this video we will be reviewing your final program and your program rationale. This video is super important to review because it will list all the steps, the grading criteria, the instructions for developing both your program rationale and your final program for this class. I do break this down when we talk through each module, but I think it's important to kind of watch this video on the front end to know what your expectations are in this course. So you'll submit two different projects in this course, the program rationale and the final program. But I want to make it very clear that your program rationale is part of your final program. So it's very, very important that you submit a very well done program rationale because it does make up a portion of your final program. Okay, so the objectives for this kind of module is to explain the components of the program rationale, demonstrate proficiency at the program rationale template, explain the components of the final program, and the proficiency of the final program template. So let's start going through this module here. You have taken the first step, which is watching this project information video. Our next step is reviewing the program rationale instructions and grading. So let's open that up here. And it is listed nice and neatly here for you. So the program rationale paper is worth 15% of your grade. You will each conduct a literature review on your assigned health topic that's been assigned to you with your target population. If you have not already done so, you need to review the topic assignment tab in eCourseWare and figure out what topic has been assigned to you. This is considered your needs assessment as doing the literature review. You will need to have at least 3 references, and they must be from peer-reviewed journal articles. Those references must be listed in APA format with in-text citations, okay? Again, this is reiterated when we go through the modules and when these things become due, but I'm just telling you on the front end, 3 references from peer-reviewed journal articles in APA format. So what is included in the program rationale paper is the title page, table of contents, your pre-planning portion, which identifies key stakeholders, decision makers, gatekeepers, and it also lists your program site. Your health problem, you're going to identify and describe your problem, talking about the prevalence, the risks that are associated with your problem. The prevalence rates, so this is going to be listed in the national terms and then working into a more local terms for your prevalence. The costs associated to your health problem. So what are the economic and the social costs of your health problem? Contributing behaviors. What are these actions that are causing the problem to become worse? Your priority population. Who are you targeting? What are their predisposing, enabling, and reinforcing factors for this population? Find other programs and reference these. These have to be from peer-reviewed journals, and they have to address what has been done previously, what has been successful, what are other programs similar to what you are kind of going to do that matches. Which guiding theory will you be using? Which behavior change theory are you going to use to help implement your program or develop your program, plan your program? Your program overview. So an overview of what you're going to do, the who, what, when, and where that it will take place. And then also defending why you think your program will be successful. Identify the specific behavior you will intervene in on your behavior or your program. Those 3 references, your strategic plan. This is going to be the mission, goals, objectives, strategies, and evaluations for your program. A unit and block plan. So your unit plan and your block plan will include 6 sessions, and then you'll have an appendices, including a self-evaluation of your paper using the program rationale rubric. All right, so finding peer-reviewed sources. Where can we find peer-reviewed journals? I have a nice list here for you guys. Please utilize this. Here are some lists of non-peer-reviewed areas. It's not that you can't use these. You can certainly use these websites, but these are government websites, right? You can certainly use them and use them as references, but remember you are required to have 3 references from peer-reviewed articles. This is the grading rubric that I will be using to grade your Rationale papers, okay? And each of these items are broken down and you are given a grade, either a 5, a 3, or a 0 for what you are addressing in your program. So be sure to look over that and make sure when you are submitting your Rationale that you are meeting all of those guidelines listed in the rubric. All right, so we're going to go back here to our project information content. We do have a program Rationale student example for you to look at. Do not copy and paste this example. I think that goes without saying, but it has happened in the past. Do not copy and paste. That is plagiarism. So here, and it wouldn't make sense because you are not assigned the same topic as the student was. You'll see here this is her title page. She's doing a program called Let's Go, Speed Through Your Stresses and Become a Winner. And it's a program targeting stress management in middle school boys. And it's presented to the Riverdale Elementary School. Just to reiterate what I have told you in one of our module videos, you will not be allowed to pick a K-12 school. It must be a community site. All right, so your table of contents here, your numbers need to match what page number they are in your project. You won't just copy the page numbers that are listed here or in the paper or the template. You will make up your own pages for what it falls on. So you'll pick your site, the decision makers, stakeholders, gatekeepers. Each of these need to be at least a paragraph in length. And guys, a paragraph is 4 to 6 sentences. Okay, a paragraph is not 2 sentences. Program Rationale. This is going to be where we introduce our health problem. We're going to be talking about its prevalence nationally and then moving to more locally. The costs, the contributing behaviors, our population, who is our program targeting, what are their predisposing factors, what are the enabling factors, what are those reinforcing factors. And as you go through, you'll see all of those in-text citations, and that's what it needs to look like for your program as well. Other programs, what has been done in the past? What did those other programs look like? What is the guiding theory that you're going to be using? Continues here talking about the constructs of that theory. And then the program overview. What are you going to do in your program? The who, what, when, where, and why, and how is listed here. Your reference page. And see, you have many references, but you need at least 3 peer-reviewed journal articles, right? Then moving on to the strategic plan. You have your overview, your mission, your goals, and your objectives. Here you will look at how you're going to accomplish the objectives. And remember, there are 3 types of objectives. You have your behavioral, your cognitive, and your affective objectives. Then you'll have your unit and session plans. So here we have our 6 sessions with those activities listed. And lastly, your self-evaluation, how you feel you were able to complete your program your program Rationale. So this is what you'll submit about halfway through the semester for your program Rationale. And this is a student example. Again, do not copy any portion of that student example. To complete your program Rationale, you are going to download this Rationale template and you will put your own information into it. Okay, so you're not developing anything in Word from scratch, you're going to download this template and then you're going to fill it in with your information. So it should be quite easy, right? You'll put in your page numbers, you'll put in your own title, your own name, you'll fill in, let's see, the pre-planning portions, right? And each of these kind of tells you a little bit about what you're supposed to do there, but you'll fill in each of those items and just plug in your information for your program. Okay, so moving on. Our final program. Again, we have our instructions and grading here. Your final program is worth 20%. Okay, so super important. And remember, a portion of that, though, you've already done in your program rationale. So you'll see here, all of this part is your program rationale. Then, additionally, you'll be completing an evaluation plan, implementation plan, marketing materials, budget justification, a detailed budget, unit plan, block plan with your sessions. Here is how I will be assessing your final program. So check out this rubric, and as you are completing your program, you will want to make sure that you are hitting all of the 5 levels in your completion in your work. Again, we have a student example for the final program. I'm going to skip through the rationale part because we've already gone through that, the strategic plan. Here it begins with, make sure I was at the right part, yes, your evaluation. So you have your evaluation plan here, how you will be evaluating your objectives, implementation, your implementation plan. Sorry, I'm going through this quickly, but you can take your own time going through the example. Marketing, your marketing plan, how you will market it to your priority population. Your marketing materials, what will that look like? Here we have an example of a public service announcement, a press release. You'll be developing these own marketing materials, a flyer. And these flyers, they need to be nice, right? These are actually what would be used to market your program. Your budget. So why you need the amount of money that you need is the justification for the budget, what you're going to be using that money on, and then an actual budget listed here. Shows us exactly the breakdown of what the money will be spent on. Your unit plans, what activities, what messages are going to be given in each of those units. Then your sessions. This is breaking down each session and giving you objectives, your focus, your supplies, the materials, what activities you'll actually be doing in each of these sessions, what time constraints you'll need, and then how you'll evaluate how well that session went. Session materials that you need for each session. And it breaks all of this down. Remember, you'll have 6 different sessions. Okay. Then you have your appendix, your self-evaluation here. And that is all. So that is this is an example, student example. Again, do not copy from the student example. It won't even make sense for you to do so. And then just like with the rationale template, you will use the final program template when you start, after you've submitted your rationale paper. You then will work on submitting and working through your final program template. Guys, we've put some resources here for you to utilize. So some information on APA formatting if you struggle with that, how to conduct a literature search, how to use Google Scholar. These are wonderful resources to use as you're working through that, because not all of this is going to be second nature to you guys. So please, please, please take your time. Look through all of these examples, look through the resources, review the rubric so that you're making sure that you're hitting all of the key areas that are going to be graded. And please ask questions. Email me, reach out. We can set up a Zoom call if we need to answer questions. But please review this and know what is going to be expected of you for your rationale paper and your final program.